All right, I'm good to go.
Okay. Welcome to the Providence City Administrative Land Use Authority meeting for March 10th at 2:30 in the afternoon. We are holding this meeting via Zoom. It's also streaming live on our YouTube channel. I'm Scarlett Bankhead. I'm the Administrative Services Director. We have Rob Stapley, the Public Works Director, and Max Pierce, our City Engineer. We make up the Administrative Land Use Authority. We also have with us today Ryan Snow, our City Manager, Diane Campbell, who helps us with our land use, and April Fredrickson, who does zoning and stormwater and code compliance. And it looks like we have Jessica on board from Visionary Homes. How are you today, Jessica?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Good, thank you. We have 4 items on our agenda. 3 of them are all for Visionary Homes. So if it's all right with both Rob and Max, I'll read the 3 separate agenda items, but let's just discuss them as one item. Diane will make 3 separate records of decision though for you, Jessica, so that each one will have its own record of decision for the building department's files, but we'll just do it at one if that's okay, as one item as far as discussion goes. Is that okay, Rob and Max?
Works for me.
I think they're all very similar in the same area, so that should work.
Okay. So the Providence City Administrative Land Use Authority will consider for approval a request by Visionary Homes for a new home located at 535 North, 275 East, Vineyard Lot 57, a new home located at 556 North, 275 East, Vineyard Lot 64, and a new home located at 546 North, 275 East, Vineyard Lot 65. Jessica, did you get the email and have a chance to look at the staff reports that were included in today's agenda packet?
Yes, I did.
Okay, do you have any questions or concerns about those?
Nope, they're all pretty standard, so.
Okay, Diane, do you want to read us one of the staff reports and then we can get started on the discussion?
Sure. These applications, 2 of them, lot 57 and lot 64, the applications were received February 26th. And 65 was received on March 4th, I believe. I have the wrong date on there, but anyway. The findings of facts are Utah Code 10-9A-507 allows municipalities to adopt land use ordinances that include conditional uses and provisions for those uses. Providence City Code 10-5 states that all requests for permits involving a lot or site within an area, a sensitive area, to be dealt with as a conditional use. Providence City Code 10-3-5 allows the city to impose reasonable conditions to mitigate detrimental effects of the proposed use in these areas. Conclusions of law, Providence City has adopted land use ordinances for conditional uses. This parcel is in a hazard water table area. Providence City has the authority to impose reasonable conditions to mitigate any detrimental effects, and the request meets the requirements of the codes listed in the findings of fact with the following conditions. The applicant will continue to meet all relevant federal, state, county, and Providence City rules, laws, codes, and ordinances. The applicant will mitigate hazard water table he's submitted the same old mitigation letter and the window well drain detail for all 3 houses. The conditional uses for the residents only, date stamped February 26th on 2 of them, and on lot 65, it's March 4th. Approval by the city of any application submitted or paperwork does not alleviate the owners and or their agents from their responsibility to understand and conform to local, state, and federal laws. Providence City's approval is not intended to and cannot be construed to allow any laws to be violated.
Thanks, Diane.
Mhm.
And just really quick for the record, the letter that Diane referenced was dated January 9th, 2020. It was from Dallas Nichols, who was the development manager with Visionary Homes. And they had a geotechnical report prepared by A Cash Corp on June 12th, 2019. It addressed the high water table. It indicated a land drain would be an acceptable mitigation strategy that would allow the construction of homes with basements. Based on this recommendation, a land drain has been installed as part of the subdivision improvements. Each single family resident in this development that plans to have a basement will install a footing drain that connects to the provided land drain. And the detail of the footing drain was included in the packets. So we do have that letter and the detail in our packets. There have been quite a few homes that have already taken advantage of this land drain, and it seems to be working well. So Max, Rob, any problems with the mitigation strategy?
No,
Nope.
nothing.
Okay. Ryan, April, or Diane, do any of you have any comments you would like to make?
I don't.
I don't.
Okay. Jessica, any questions or concerns?
Nope. Well, one question. Can I build over the setback lines?
What was that?
I said, can I build over the setback lines? That's my question. I'm just teasing you guys.
No, but we have had other people ask us that question. Well, not necessarily in this meeting, but it's not really an uncommon question.
They're shown as a dotted line on my site plan, so that just means they're optional, right?
Yeah, right. That's how you wish, huh? It is just though to advise you, Jessica, remember you do need to have your property corners staked so that when they do come to look at where your footings are placed, they can make sure they're in the right spot. Because all kidding aside, we do have to honor those setback lines. Which
sure.
does bring me to one question, and Diane, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. One of the homes in this had window wells that went further out than they were supposed to. Is that?
Yes,
That
they
gets
were going to
fixed?
redraw the plans or redo the plans so that there were not any windows on the sides, but we're not doing that house today. That will be next
Oh,
time.
Okay,
It just-
Yeah,
she-
I just sent Diane the new elevations. My guys have got it all adjusted, so that'll be on the next agenda, I think.
She
okay,
sent those today.
all right. So all three in this one are just fine then, correct? As far as
Yes.
setbacks and everything goes?
Yes.
Okay. That being said, I would entertain a motion to approve the conditional use for requested by Visionary Homes for a new home located at 535 North, 275 East, which is Vineyard Lot 57. The approval of a conditional use for the new home located at 556 North, 275 East, which is Vineyard Lot 64. And the approval of a conditional use for a new home located at 546 North, 275 East, which is Vineyard Lot 65, based on the findings of fact, conclusions of law, and conditions submitted on the staff report. Could I get that motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Max Pierce, second by Rob Stapley. All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Voting was unanimous. Thanks, Jessica, and have a great afternoon.
Thanks, everyone. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Okay, our fourth item on our agenda is from the city. Providence City Administrative Land Use Authority will consider for approval a request by Providence City for a 1.5 million gallon water storage tank located at That's not the correct address on this. We've got 400 South, 850 East.
400 North or what? I think I put,
Actually, maybe it is 4 South. I
That's-
didn't think it was quite that far south. Because Center Street, but it's in that general area. It doesn't have an actual address assigned to it by the county yet. So Max, maybe that is something that you do need to,
I believe I gave that address to Tara, if I'm not mistaken. Is that the one that I gave her, Rob? Do you remember? Or- I mean, she called me about.
that's
it.
what was
I
on the
can't remember.
application.
okay. Well, then I
Yeah,
stand
that
corrected.
is it.
Okay. So, Rob, let's see, best way to handle this probably is, Diane, do you want to read the staff report really quick?
Okay. The application was received March 4th. Findings of fact are the same as the last 3 homes. Conclusions of law are the same, except for this parcel is in a hazard wildfire area. This conditional use is for, I need to change that, it's not for a residence. It's date stamped March 4th. And yeah, everything is the same on the conditions.
So can I ask a question? That's not in this packet, correct? That information?
It
Okay.
is, it's the last ROD.
Actually, Diane, I can't find it either.
Did
Yeah,
I not
it's
put
not
it
in
in there?
mine.
I thought it was, but I mean, it's definitely on the agenda, so we are okay
Yeah,
to,
it's on the agenda. It's just
Discuss
not
it.
included in the
Okay.
packet.
but
Right, sorry about that. I thought I had it in there.
I went back and forth and I didn't see it either, so, so I think the best way to probably handle this is, prior to the purchase of this property, Providence City did some due diligence. Rob, do you want to talk about, the earthquake study, the fault line study we did, and a couple of things we did prior to purchasing the property? And then Ryan, I'll let you talk just for a minute about the actual project, if that works all right, and that gets us,
Scarlett, can I ask one question before we get into all that? I'm just
Yeah.
curious, and I think, Diane, you said it's, I guess what I want to clarify is why it's, being brought before us. Is it because of fire, or is it because of fire and steep, or what? I don't think it's steep, right? It's just fire only?
fire only. And it's-
Okay, just
And
wanted
it's
to
just
clarify that.
because we're in that wildfire area and the city has to follow its own rules.
Right, I just
So-
wasn't sure which one of the reasons was why it was coming to us, but it's because it's in the fire hazards area then, I guess.
Right,
Okay, perfect.
okay,
Fire sensitive area, so it doesn't actually have anything to pertain to the earthquake fault line since we're not within it as far as our research. I guess that's why you wanted me to refer to it.
right.
Can you speak up,
Right.
Rob? You're being your usual soft-spoken self.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, we did do a geotech study along with the fault study, and that study extended the entire distance east to west on the parcel that we'll be working on, and there was no evidence of a fault line within that property, so therefore we have done our due diligence as far as building a structure in that location.
Thanks, Rob. Ryan, do you want to just take a minute and be the applicant for us?
Absolutely, absolutely. Representing the city, we're applying for a 1.5 million gallon storage tank to help mitigate fire flow in a hazardous wildfire area. I think it's pretty appropriate. So anyway, this is to help reduce the and supplement to fire and for water service to the city. We have purchased the property, we have our easements, we have our contractor And so we are prepared to move forward expeditiously on it. So it'll be a good project for both the city and the residents. So we ask for your approval.
Thanks, Ryan. Max or Rob, are there any comments, questions? Anything either of you want to make reference to before we?
Related to fire, I think we'll be okay since we're not building any wooden structures and we'll be vegetating the area when we're done. So we should be in good shape when it comes to wildfire.
Yeah, there's no combustible structures or anything like that being built. And so, but it does bring up a question though, Rob, I guess, as far as, you know, just maintenance of the property. I mean, it's conceivable that, you know, the grasses or whatever would get, you know, tall enough within the property that if you had a fire up there that, you know, you wouldn't want to get a fire to come within your tank property, and, you know, maybe some ash or something like that could get in the tank through the vents or something. But yeah, there's nothing that's going to burn, but I guess if the grass or something were to catch on fire, it would potentially get some ash or something into the tank.
We'll do our due diligence annually, if not multiple times annually, as far as mowing the grounds and maybe even spraying the grounds. So hopefully the fire will just go right around us if it happens to come our direction.
Perfect.
But we'll also follow the rules. If we have any vents or anything like that, we need to, you know, do the thing with the mesh and stuff like that that's required by the fire code. So we'll make sure we do as much as possible to keep us all safe. We actually do have the contractor since part of the access road is already in place, correct, Rob?
They've started in full force in the last couple of days, yes.
So, and April, you're aware of that from stormwater compliance side of things, so we'll just stay on top of the whole project, just like it was anybody else's project. Any other questions or comments that anybody would like to make? Okay, hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the request by Providence City for a conditional use for a 1.5 million gallon water storage tank located at approximately 400 South, 850 East in Providence. Based on the findings of fact and the conclusions of law and conditions that Diane read to us from the staff report.
I'll
Can I
make
get
that
that?
motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, the motion was made by Rob Stapley and the second by Max Pierce. All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Voting was unanimous. Thanks, Ryan, for your attendance and your input on that. And thanks to everyone for joining us this afternoon. Hope you all have a good afternoon. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second it.
Motion by Max Pierce, second by Rob Stapley. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Oops, excuse me. Opposed? Voting was unanimous. Have a great afternoon, everybody, and thank you for your time today.
Thanks.